today's session is all about showing you what happens when actually automation meets AI, specifically how Cloudinary MediaFlows combined with the Cloudinary AI vision prompting can actually supercharge your image workflow. So we're going to talk through real examples using prompt-based visual analysis. And these will extract insight from your assets and then automate what happens next. So either if it's tagging, routing, organizing, applying any design logic, you see actually how to build a flow that does the heavy lifting for you. No more manual steps, no more guesswork, just intelligent automation that responds to your content. The goal here is to make all these tools super practical and very actionable for your own workflows. So yeah, let's just dive in. First of all, I'm going to present what is MediaFlow and then what is the Cloudinary AI Vision add-on. So MediaFlows is a Cloudinary visual workflow automation solution. It's a super flexible system with a lot of different possibilities. And today we're going to just show you how the Cloudinary AI Vision takes that to the next level. So at its core, MediaFlow is actually designed to automate all the repetitive tasks that slows your team down so you can actually focus on the creative or strategic stuff that really matters. MediaFlow empowers non-developers to contribute and build automation because it's a no-code, low-code tool, and anyone can use it today. So MediaFlows is articulating itself in two main use cases. Internal processes with Cloudinary that are actually focused mostly around the media processing and the media management. You can do whatever you want in order to streamline whatever process your media needs. And to go through, the second main use case is actually to connect Cloudinary with any type of third-party services. So you can connect it to your CMS, to your PIN, or even your internal system. You make Cloudinary your single source of truth for all the digital asset management. The core of MediaFlows is all about triggers and action. So when a trigger occurs, an action happens. You can set a trigger to say when the image is ready, meaning when a structured metadata is updated, a tag is added, for example, then perform the action when an asset is uploaded, then the action will be, please resize it. Very simple examples, but this is how it works. So now moving to the AI Vision add-on. So it is an AI-powered Ask Me Anything tool for images. You can think of the AI Vision as your superpower sidekick for images. So it uses the generative AI to understand and respond to your prompts. So you can actually automate all the tagging, the moderation, and you can use AI Vision for many use cases. And we'll go over those use cases right now. So the first use cases is about general question and answering. For example, you can ask a very simple question. Here, can you describe the setting of this image? And then you have the answer from this image appear to depict a fitness or gym setting, etc., etc. The second use case is the content moderation and compliance. So with AI Vision, you can actually quickly and instantly check if the image meets your brand or platform standards with actually no manual review. And the last use case with AI Vision is that you can tag and organize your images based on your own categories. So there's no need to train any model or do any coding. You just provide the tags and explain what they mean. And the AI is actually taking care of all the rest. So it's very ideal for consistent image organization. If you want to identify subjects, identify orientation or background colors, and all that is actually based on your own specific criteria. So now that we've actually talked about the MediaFlow product and the Cloudinary AI Vision add-on, we'll just dive into the demo. The first demo will show how the Cloudinary AI Vision add-on will help you to analyze your images using tags. The use case that I have in mind is it can help e-commerce team to very quickly sort and understand the visual asset, like model shots, or if you have product images. And it's just by using super simple prompts. And the second demo will tap into structured metadata and not tags to actually power your image analysis, similar to the first one with the Cloudinary AI Vision add-on. So here we'll look more at a second-hand car marketplace where having a super clear and accurate visual is super crucial. So with just one prompt, we will be able to spot bad image quality or any missing angles of the car or mismatched details. So let's dive in. So now I'm in my MediaFlows platform and we will start the demo. So let's start by building our first power flow together. Imagine you're managing like visual for an e-commerce brand, right? And your site relies super heavily on super high quality model photography. You've got thousands of images and you want an efficient way to actually organize them for your online store. We want MediaFlows to help us use the Cloudinary AI Vision that I described just a bit before to automatically tag image based on prompts, and it will identify whether a model is front-facing, for example, or back-facing. So this will allow my team to super quickly filter and organize those thousands of images upon upload with no manual work. So let's create a new power flow. I will actually call it image analysis flow. The first decision that we need to make when we're creating a power flow is deciding how we want it to start. Or in other words, how it should be triggered. As we said before, in MediaFlows, you have a trigger and then you have an action. In this simple use case, we want the flow to be triggered when an upload happens in Cloudinary. So to do that, we use the Cloudinary upload trigger that is actually already on the canvas, as you see here. This is another block that is already here. Amazing. So now we're going to click on the Cloudinary upload block and we're going to configure it. So part of the configuration here is stating on which upload we want this flow to be triggered. So obviously we can have it triggered on every upload, but if you want to be super specific, we can add different filters. So now I want this flow to work only on an asset type and on image. You can check on the drop down here and you can decide that you want it to work only on the videos that are uploaded, only on raw files. So that's the first configuration. Now we'll set this trigger only when an upload occurs to a very specific folder. So let's say folder. And I have models here. It's a folder that I already created on my platform. And now the last step is that we want to make sure to set the webhook. So the webhook actually will create this connection between Cloudinary and MediaFlow. So now that I set it up, Cloudinary will identify that an upload event happened and it needs to send the details to the relevant webhook, which is in this case, MediaFlow. So now we are actually done with the configuration of the Cloudinary upload block. Amazing. So now we want to determine what type of action we want to apply. So we have the trigger, which is the Cloudinary upload block, and we want to apply the action. So in our case today, it's a very simple use case. We just want to analyze the image using the AI vision, right? So here I'm going to check for the AI vision block, tag by prompt. I'm going to just drag it here. Very simple. And I'm going to connect it here. Amazing. So the configuration is actually structured in a way that we need to set up which asset we want to analyze, right? The answer in the asset is that was uploaded from the trigger. So here you see that we want to use all the assets that went through the Cloudinary upload trigger. So then we want to set up the relevant prompt. Here you can see how to actually define a prompt and to write it with the right syntax. So I already have it here. One of the first prompts that I want to actually use for this flow is this one. Front facing is the model front facing. I'm going to add it. And then I'm going to use a second prompt, which is here. Back facing is the model back facing. And then the MediaFlow allows us to actually really simply add the tags to the assets that were uploaded. So here we can select yes or no, and I'm leaving it as a yes. Once I'm done with the block configuration, I'm clicking on done. Perfect. And now we don't forget to save changes. Amazing. So now I want to test this block on my Cloudinary asset platform. So this is my asset platform under folders that I have the models folder here. And I'm going to upload a few models images that I have here. So here they are. I'm just wanting to show you that for now, there's no tags whatsoever. Not yet. Okay, I'm going to refresh. So I'm refreshing my folder just to see how the MediaFlow actually implemented or not the relevant tags based on the different prompts that I actually wrote a few minutes ago. So we see, let's wait a bit. Okay. So we see that everything was actually done automatically through the flow upon the upload. That on this image, the tag here is back facing. On this image, we see that the model is actually front facing. Let's see for this image. So we see that this image, the girl is actually back facing and we have the right tag, the back facing here. This one is not already there. And this one is front facing. So the flow is actually working. I have all the images with the right tags that you see here. Once you have all the tags, your team can actually keep on with a task, either for filtering those images or even put them in another folder. So that's about the first demo. What I want to show you, which is super interesting, is actually the logs. So what we see here, the logs are actually structured in a way that they show the output of each block, right? So let's take this log. For example, we see that we're talking about this asset that we saw a bit before. This is what Cloudinary APIs actually returned. So we see the Cloudinary upload here, and we see the AI Vision tag back prompt here, and we see that the result was front facing with this asset. So all these details that you can see is actually the outputs that either the AI Vision returned or the upload block returned. And I think that's amazing. So just for the sake of time, I already created a demo here. So in this use case, we are in a use case of a user-generated content for a web marketplace that sells second-hand. Let's say that currently our business process requires someone to manually review each image that is uploaded by the users. And this person needs to check for visible damage to the car manually. So we're going to set a process to automate this workflow and help this person to really reduce the time spent on labeling all these images, whether there is a dent or whether there's no dent. So we're using, again, the AI vision capabilities that will analyze the image, and we're using MediaFlow to build relevant business logic to support that. So I'm going to explain very quickly the blocks here. So we have a first demo, the trigger block, which is Cloudinary uploads, all the images that are uploaded to Cloudinary, and the folders that are going to the car return that are actually created beforehand. The webhook is sent. I'm sending the assets to a different AI vision analysis block, which actually will allow me to ask AI vision add-on a very simple question. I will define it however I want. In this case, I actually defined it. First, I want to define if the car in the image contained a visual damage or dent. So this is a yes. The car in the image doesn't have any visual damage, then this is a no. So the reason why I actually built this prompt that way is because I want to take different actions in case the answer is yes or in case the answer is no. So in order to do that, the following block that I'm going to use is the condition block. What's unique about the condition block is that it allows me to take different paths in my flow depending on my answers. So we have a check here and we have X here. So the way that this block is configured is I'm checking the first variable. I'm checking the AI vision result, the value, as we see here. And then I check if it equals to yes. So in case it equals to yes, we have this block here, and we have this check pass. It doesn't equal to yes, it will take the X pass, as you see here. So we'll click on the SMD block. So here we will update the structure metadata field with a yes value, as you can see here. The car does have a dent, so the car dent structure metadata field will get the yes value. So going back to the yes path, so this one after the condition, going back to the yes paths, in case it does have a dent, I want to call back the AA vision block prompt one more time. And this time I want to ask a different question. So I'm basically asking a very simple question. I want to have a description of the car dent, the location of it, and the severity of it. What is important to understand and actually emphasize is that I'm only calling the AI vision for the second time, only for relevant assets, only the ones that actually a car dent. Using this condition block allow me to be much more efficient in my automation. So in this case, I'm updating a different field. I'm updating the description here, structure metadata field, and the value that I enter. And the value here is the output from the described dent AI vision block that we saw before. So I'm clicking on the. What I'm going to do is I'm going to upload all the cars. So in this flow, I just added another block here. So move to folder. So we will see it here. So this is the car that I returned, and this is the car that are good to go. So it might take a few seconds. As you see, it's still processing. It takes a few seconds to have all the cars processed. And the reason for that is that all the images go through all the blocks that we created in the flow. Some of the blocks takes a few seconds to process, especially the AI vision one. And it needs to analyze the image and then return the right answer to it. So I want to see if all the cars that are actually the good to go folder, which is here, have no dent. So we're actually clicking here. As we see here, car dent description, there's no car dent, which is amazing. That's exactly what I wanted to see. And here, the car returned one, when I opened this one, we see that all the cars that are returned have a dent. And we can see the dent description. This image shows a significant dent on the rear quarter panel bumper area of what appears to be a silver gray colored vehicle, etc., etc. What I want to do now is back to my flow and checking the logs again. So all the logs here, we have it for all the different images that are actually uploaded. You can see it here. So you can see that this image, for example, went through the Cloudinary upload triggers, through the AI vision analysis card, and then it saw that there were no dent. And because there were no dent, it was moved to the right folder, the good to go folder. Looking forward to seeing you on the next one. Thank you.